Just, to get us familiar with you, do you want to tell new listeners of who you are in case there are new ones listening for the first time?
Yeah, I would love to. My artist name's Bekah Baby. I'm originally from Saginaw, Michigan. I've been based out of Detroit for the past, gosh, probably about 5 years now. And I have kind of weaved around music and then luckily came back to it. So I got back into it pretty heavily about 3 or 4 years ago, and I've put out two albums and an EP since then. And then this is my third solo album. Um, and I'm really, really mixed it up this time. So it's definitely new for not just the people that are just hearing about me, but for the listeners who have been along the ride with me. It's definitely something new.
And R&B is your thing, right?
Yes, yep. So I'm an R&B singer. I get into a little bit of hip hop now and then, like with features and pop sometimes, but R&B is like my true sound, my true passion.
And inspirations, do you want to throw out again in case listeners would like to know, like, who did you grow up on? I knew you grew up on your Ashantis, your
Oh,
Alanis Morissettes with the pop. So you mix it up. You're not just
I do.
only
Yeah, I
R&B.
have a big I mean I definitely grew up with like the iconic like Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, Mary J. Blige, like listening to them, but I definitely like I'm more along the lines of that like bouncier 90s R&B that we talk about, like Ashanti and like more recently, probably Tink and Janae Aiko and some inspiration like that as well. But I sometimes do bring in like the soft rock, like Jewel Alanis Morissette inspiration. So it's really just like a combination.
So you really, this time with this album, do you want to talk about this album that you released this time? Because this is your third album, and man, it is racy. Do you want to talk
It
about
is
it?
crazy. That's a good word. Yeah, I do. I'm super excited about this project. I started it a year ago when my last solo album dropped. I really wanted to just switch it up. I do a lot of like easy listening, appropriate music. Like, don't get me wrong, I can be edgy when I get on hip hop songs when I do features and stuff. But as far as my albums went, I really released like a lot of just like easy, appropriate music. And I really wanted to just like switch it up. I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman just being like proud and passionate and like sexy and feel comfortable in her own skin. And that's what I really wanted to show with this album, just like a different side to myself and like bring it back to that like 80s 90s bedroom R&B that a lot of us were probably raised on and probably conceived on, if I want to say.
And you are bringing that bedroom making music back, right? You are making the
Yes.
So we're gonna expect a lot of quarantine babies in this time.
I released a public service announcement, Donovan. I am not responsible for any babies
Oh.
made off my album.
PSA, warning people, warning,
Yes.
especially if you experiencing that sex high. You know what
Yes.
I'm
Yes. I love that one.
So what do you say to listeners to say, but don't you think it's a little bit too much by being too sexual? What do you say when listeners ask artists, especially female artists? And remember, you and I have talked about it before. WAP, for example, I know that's a hip hop song, but when a woman gets too sexual, why is it a turn off?
I just think that's the way our culture's always been is like, some things are just meant to be private. Some things are meant to be behind closed doors, whereas men have always had like a more open access and pathway to like exploring their sexuality and being free to do so. So I think the question probably could go back thousands of years, but like just more applicable. Like women are just kind of taught that if they share too much or if they're too sexual or this or that, then they're, excuse my language, I don't know what I can say, Donovan, but that they're just kind of like a hoe. And it's not true. Like we should be able to take like responsibility and ownership of our own bodies, how we want to be sexual, how we don't, and it shouldn't always have to be men that sexualize women.
And what do you say to listeners that say, you know what? I can rock with that. What do you say to listeners that are rocking with it?
I love them. I love them. I think it's just fun. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with a female just like talking about what I'm talking about on this album. Yes, it's racy. Yes, it's risque, but um I just think like everybody's been in love. Everybody's felt passion for somebody. Like, if you can't identify with it, I don't know what to tell you, but it's definitely not for underage listeners. I will say that much.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. But so if you are a little bit of a freak, it's definitely for you.
It's
Okay. So
for
if you feel a
you,
freak
oh my freaks.
and you want your strawberries and you want your whipped cream, you definitely feel freaky, then
Yep.
you definitely need to listen to this. Now, do you want to talk about the name, the album name, and some of the songs on the album in case listeners say, well, let's hear more?
Yes, it's called Late Night. And I know you've seen the cover, Donovan.
Oh,
So
I
I
love it.
really wanted to just like right off the bat, I wanted people to know what to expect. Like, I wanted them to know that this is something sexier. It's not for morning time. This is not for your party, your company. This is for like you and your man or you and your woman to like just get intimate with each other.
It could be for the morning, couldn't it?
It could be. I
Yeah.
mean, yes, 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 yes.
If you want,
It
if you
definitely
know,
could be for the morning because we
yeah, that's
all
what
we all want some of that. But
I
what
want
I
some of
mean
that.
is, it's not like walking with the birds Sunday morning church music type of stuff.
Oh no, 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 no. No, but okay. If it's in the morning, right? Can't you make your coffee and then what do you call it? Squeeze it a little more than one,
Oh,
two,
you heard the lyrics, Donovan.
I've heard the lyrics, yes. But you never know. Some people are just feeling freaky 24/7. Some listeners are just feeling freaky where they need that. Do you want to talk about Sex High?
Yes, that's actually it's one of my favorite. I have honestly like this is my favorite project. I don't think I've ever put out work that's this like musical, this like wonderful like quality and harmonies and melodies and everything. And I think all my feature artists are so dope on here too. But Sex High is one of my solo songs on here that I really, really love. I'm actually stepping outside of my comfort zone with this song. Once you hear it, I have a choreographer and dancers, and we're rehearsing for this video, and I'm becoming like a more vulnerable, just like artist, as an entertainer instead of just a singer. I'm really like becoming who I want to be as an artist with this album.
Mm-hmm.
But Sex High is just a very sexy song. Talks about the bedroom and just like wanting to focus on your person and be with your person.
Focusing on that bedroom. Okay, so why did you? Hey, there's nothing wrong with focusing on the bedroom, right? If it's all about the music,
Nothing wrong.
giving you that
Nothing
little
wrong at
bump
all.
and giving you that little bump and grind, right?
Yes. I really actually that's in the lyrics. So
Well, you're the but Becca baby style, okay, listeners, Becca baby style, not the
oh
other.
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's definitely explicit, but I think I did it in a really like sexy way. Like, it's a little nasty, but I don't think it's like too outrageous. Like, I think I did it in a really sexy, intimate way.
Now, do you want to talk about SNF? I like SNF.
Yes. SNF, you know what? I really wanted to do like there's only like two faster songs on my album. So Freak with Eastside RK is like a little bit upbeat faster. And then SNF with Tayro, he's from my hometown in Saginaw. And that's like those two are the only like upbeat, faster paced songs. So they're really more like that's my party song on there. SNF is like the party song for the album. And it just talks about, having sex and smoking good weed and having a good time with people. So that's pretty much what that song's about.
Hey, when those two intertwine, that's a good thing with the music, right?
It is. It is. It makes for some good music. It makes for some good vibes. So I just wanted to do something like faster, upbeat on there that gave people like a fun time.
A fun time. Now, do you want to talk about my other one? I like Stay In. That's actually was my favorite one.
You know what? I think like if I were to look at all the songs from the album, that's my favorite one too overall. Like I had this I had this chorus in my head for Stay In, like that you heard on there, and I knew that I wanted somebody on there, and I went to an engineer in Saginaw that I've been working with. His name's Mac Jovi, and he got Bankroll G to come to get on the song for me. And they're both from my hometown. So I had a good time. Like, me and Eastside Arcade have put out some great music together, good project, but I had a good time like working with some rappers from my hometown on this one, which was really cool. And so Bankroll G got on that one and he really like turned it up. Like he's just he's a fun entertainer, like great ad libs, great energy. And that song, you guys will definitely have to hear that one. That's my favorite for sure on the album.
Do you think you'll push that one out more? Because I could see that being the official single if radio stations had to pick that up.
Oh yeah, like I think that's the one. It's like it's one of those that just stick in your head. It's like a banger. Like it's just a good combination of rap and R&B, and I think it's a great song. I think a lot of people like from all different like music taste can like that one.
Now, can I ask you, why did you close out with Souvenirs and why was it so short? What if people say, why didn't you put an interlude at the end?
Good question. I just thought like the topic of the song, like souvenirs, like leaving you something even though they're leaving. I thought was a good thing to put at the end of the song. And it's actually short and by accident because I made a really long song. It was like 4 minutes and some seconds. And we ended up cutting it and letting it like just kind of close out the album. It's super short. It's kind of strange because the chorus only comes through the song one time. But it was just like the mood of the album and what I'm setting up for with the next one that I drop, the next album that I drop. So that'll be a surprise. But the next album I drop is gonna be a little bit more about like more heartbreak into it, like love, but like painful love. So that's why I kind of ended the album with that one, is like trailing off. Like the guy has to go, but he's leaving you with all these good things.
And what do you say to that? Where, ladies probably have had that guy that left them with some good memories and they're lingering, and maybe that guy, maybe Steven is gone and there's somebody wants Steven back. What's the message you would give to those ladies listening to Souvenirs? Well,
I just think
souvenirs.
follow your heart. Learn your lessons, but follow your heart. Um, it's tough. Love is tough. So it's just like crazy because this album is so sexy, so intimate, but at the same time, like love is crazy.
Very
So,
crazy.
I've gotten myself into some situations. I know everybody's gotten themselves into situations, but just like listen to yourself and listen to the people that care about you, and no regret.
Do you just want to repeat that again? You were cutting out just a little bit there.
Oh yeah, listen. So just listen to yourself and listen to the people that care about you. And I like to live my life with like no regrets. So if I feel it, I do it. Like if I care about somebody, they're gonna know it, and I'm gonna pursue it.
And ladies, definitely you were a good person then, and especially if they come back, right, Bekah baby?
Exactly. They always come back, Donovan. They always come back.
So, ladies, don't worry. Just pop in Bekah, baby. If you feeling freaky first, Steven, you want him back, play that song, but don't reminisce on it. Like, think about the good times, but don't long for Steven back. Just continue to live your life,
Yeah,
Bekah,
live your
baby?
life. Somebody better will come. Somebody better will come. Just live it without regret, just have fun in the moment and appreciate the moment. And that's really what this is about, sex or not. Just take the moment and do it.
Yeah. Just do it as Nike says. Just do it as Nike says.
Exactly.
So,
New campaign.
yeah, the new campaign, the sex high, just do it, right? So what do you say to listeners if they probably ask, is this going to be the new style from now on where you're going to be very sexual? Because you just said earlier you're giving an introduction for another upcoming album, which is going to talk about heartbreak. But do we see ourselves going back to that sexual roots again?
I think so. I think like I mean, you can I would love your feedback, your opinion, but I think this is the best work I've ever put out. I think I sound good doing it. I think it's just really great, a great album. And from the feedback I've gotten so far, it's been 1 week since my album dropped. Um, People are loving it. They're like, yes, you're here. Like, you're finally here. This is who we wanted from you. And I have fun doing everything. Like, I have fun doing hip hop. I have fun doing rough songs. I have fun talking about hard life and money and everything that crazy happens, RIP songs, all that stuff. Like, don't get me wrong. I have a great time. I like writing to them. I like working with people. But I think this is great. And like, as some of my solo work, I think this is where I'm headed.
And by the way, it was a good album. But do you want to talk about why you were sitting on a chair in case listeners, like when they see the album, thinking, why are you sitting on a throne? Is that how good the sex was
Because
in
that's where
case?
I should be. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Um, no, you know what? I just we did a few different shoots for this album cover. Like we tried a few different things. Because as you see in my other work, like I wasn't really sexy. Like I was appropriate. Like I was covered. I was, but this one was like so different. I just wanted the perfect shot. So we tried like a few different locations, a few different shoots, different everything, and that was the one. And I actually love the cover. I've been getting some good feedback on that too, but we took a good like set of shots there and they all turned out great, and we just decided on that one. My best friend, Leslie, she's a graphic designer and she's been doing all my covers for me, and this is definitely my favorite for sure.
You know what I suggest you should have done? You should have sat down, had the throne on your head, and give a pose. You know what I'm saying? Kind of
Oh,
like
I
I'm
should have had a
bad.
crown.
Yes, yes, yes. You should have turned
Oh,
around. You
I
should have had
got you.
that crown and say, "I run the streets." You know what, Detroit? What?
I love it. That is so funny.
Woo!
I'm
But
gonna
you're
have to.
But your album was good though, and you work very well with the rappers though. Is there a reason like you have a stronger connection? What if listeners say you have a stronger connection with the rappers than you do solo? How would you respond to that?
Um, I would agree. You know what? Like I love working with rappers. I just think like if I'm gonna listen to music, I'm gonna listen to music that's crossover, like R&B and rap in the same song. That's what I'll choose almost every time. You know what I mean? I just think like musically it sounds wonderful together. So I feel like I really like showcase myself, like I come alive more when I work with rappers when we have to figure out like how the song is gonna go, or if it's just a feature, that's fine too. But like I don't know, I just think it makes for good music.
It makes for good music. Now, stay in. If it had a remix, who would you feature? I already know. I'm going to tell you this, my opinion, who I would see on the remix. Lil
Oh, if I
Baby.
if I if I was to pick like a mainstream artist.
Yes, I already picked Lil Baby for you.
Oh, little baby. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying
Who
to
else?
think. It needs to be somebody hype, but Bankroll G has to stay on that song too. So we would have to bring somebody new in.
Okay, we would.
Probably.
Mhm.
Um. Yeah, I could see little baby on it. I have to
Okay.
think more about it.
Okay. What about the baby?
I like little baby better.
Okay. All right. What about, well, okay. And unfortunately, he's no longer with us, but if we got Pop Smoke's vocals, do you think we could
Oh
do
yeah,
that?
that would be sweet. I would have loved that.
Okay,
So
okay, okay. And one more. What about maybe Big Sean? Do you think Big Sean could be on it or no?
Big Sean can get on any song I have
Hmm.
anytime.
Hmm.
So yes.
Now, you know what I want to ask you too, if there was a female on your remixes, you know who I could see Janae Aiko and her being on it.
Oh, I would love that. They're my favorite. They're my absolute favorite artists. So
Okay.
I,
Okay.
but I have been wanting to hopefully that's in the works for some of the stuff I have coming up. I've really been wanting to work with some female artists, whether they're singers or rappers. There's some people I have on my vision board, so hopefully that's coming soon.
Okay. I hope that's coming soon. So probably the next album you think, or the album after that?
I might do a couple singles.
Okay. A couple of singles. Okay. So maybe, okay. Would you do like a part two, like a sex high part two?
Oh, for sure.
Okay. All
I
right.
would. I think that's probably gonna happen. I think that's more of a reality than we think.
Mm-hmm. There's some babies in the house. There's some quarantine babies in
Ah,
there's some Well, you had mentioned to me when the last time you were here that it would be like a WAP, right?
yeah, we were talking about that and like the same exact idea, Donovan. Like, why can't we? Like, why can't Cardi B? Why can't Meg Thee Stallion? Why can't I? Why can't whoever talk about our own sexuality? Like,
Mm,
there's nothing wrong with it. And I had this conversation because I don't know if you remember, but I'm from a pretty conservative Middle Eastern family,
mhm.
and I actually had this conversation with my mom and my aunts because I let them hear my music before I put it out because I warned them. I wanted to warn them,
What did
and
mom think? What did mom think of the album?
well, she said like it was good. She liked it. She liked the album cover, but she definitely didn't like some of the language I used.
I can't, you know what? And again, like it's your art, it's your music. I did
Yeah.
like the album. Now, again, some listeners might think it's too much, but it's an art. And as long as you're not talking about hurting anyone or
Right.
manipulating someone or, talking
I'm just
about
talking
go,
about love. I'm just
yeah.
talking about passion and lust and things
Mhm,
that everybody experiences. And it might be first for me to do publicly, but like I'm comfortable with myself and I'm comfortable with who I am. So
mhm,
it's just like showing me as an entertainer, as an artist more publicly than I would do personally. You know what I
mhm.
mean?
And why do you think sometimes sex can be a taboo in music? Well, today it's not, it's really blunt out
Yeah,
there,
today
but
it's not, but it's just the culture of what we grew up with. And like, sex was hush hush when we were young. And it was like, we were thought that it was either something secret or like, I don't know, whatever. Growing up, you might not have had the same sex talk I did, but I just think if we were like more out and proud about life and sex and being normal human beings that fall in love and have sex and things like that, then it wouldn't be so taboo. Like, I feel like if people were just educated and okay with it, we would have a whole lot of better acting women and men as far as like sexual behavior goes, and we would probably have like less pregnancy, less STDs, less all kinds of things.
Mhm, mhm.
Education.
Preach,
It's just
preach,
about
preach,
being
preach, preach.
comfortable.
Yes, yes. What would you tell the young people if they were to pick up this album, listening to it right now? What would you tell them?
I would tell them, don't listen to it. This is for grown folks. And if you are going to be sexually active, to be educated and protected.
Okay. And what do you
But that
want
I
to?
don't condone it I don't condone it until you find somebody that you trust and that you are, you know,
Mhm, mhm.
whatever.
But say you have that young person, let's say 17, that says, I've found that person I want to spend the rest of my life with. What would you tell them?
I would tell them that I'm so happy they feel that way, but life is going to really shake things up for them.
Okay. Okay. But through the music, right?
Yeah. If I could tell you what I was doing at 17, you would think your ears down. But what I look at me now compared to then, like I have really changed and learned and grown. And what I thought I knew, I had no idea. But everybody's got to figure that out for themselves, I guess.
Okay, okay. And what do you want to say to the grown and sexy? A message from you where they're feeling a little freaky and they want to check it out?
Ah!
Or they probably are saying, girl, we need to move on. What do you want to
Oh
tell?
no, I don't think they're gonna say that at all. I think they're gonna be into it. This is exactly what this album is about. Like I feel very confident that this is a great album of work, and like I think people can get into it. I've heard from like men, women, all different ages, all different types of music styles that they like, and they're really feeling this album, and I am too. And so I just tell them like, go get your little wine or your drink or whatever you're gonna do and relax with somebody that you vibe with and listen to this album. I just think that you'll definitely enjoy it, and I appreciate everybody that's been listening to it so far.
And the ones that aren't interested, you need to get some, right, Becca, baby? You would
Yes,
tell
that's
them.
exactly what it is. Don't be all shady and weird just because you're not getting some.
Oh, well, maybe they are getting some, but hey, not everybody likes, not everybody likes sexual music, right? Some people like drugs
Yes,
more than sexual
yes,
music.
yes, that's fine. You can save it for the ones that do if that's not your style.
And that's okay, right? Do you think you would talk about more drug use in your music in the future or no?
Um, I think that so I don't see anything wrong with marijuana. Now I don't approve other drugs. I'll be honest with that.
Hmm.
Marijuana to me isn't a drug. I have my medical card, and I just think that it's not a big deal. But that's my personal opinion.
Okay.
But
Okay.
as far as like other stuff goes, I don't condone that at all.
Okay. But would you talk about it more in your music if in future singles?
Probably it's fun. I don't see anything wrong with it. So hopefully we'll have some fun.
Hmm. Off the juice. Oh, my name was dripping. Lemonade there, right? Young people know what I'm talking about. Lemonade.
Yes. You caught me off guard.
Oh.
I love it.
Okay, okay, okay. So what do you want to tell Toronto and what do you want to tell Detroit? Well, the six and Detroit. That's what I call it. The six.
Yes,
What do you
the
want to tell
six.
them?
That's why I call it two because of you and because of Drake. So the six, yes. I just want to say thank you so much for rocking with me, for vibing with my music. Please check me out, Becca Baby Music, on all platforms if you haven't already. This album again was called Late Night, and I would love it if you would listen. And if you want to, hit me up, give me your feedback. I respond, I answer people. So check me out and follow me and keep rocking with me and Donovan and Detroit. I love you guys. You have really like accepted me like I'm from here, and it's been a great couple of years, and I can't wait to see like what else comes my way. I love it. I love it here in Detroit. So just keep rocking with me for both of y'all, and I thank you guys so much.
And in closing, like your favorite couple singles. So Stay In, we have Sex High is one of your favorite or no?
Yeah, Sex High, Stay In.
Mhm.
I love Stimulated. I actually really love the interlude. I love Freak. So those are like my top five probably.
Okay, okay, okay. Did you want to throw out the platforms again quickly in case listeners want to reach out to you? Maybe they have questions or maybe they have questions about your music.
For sure. Yeah, first I just wanted to really like say thank you to everybody that was on this project with me, all the feature artists, everybody who helped with the graphics, photography, videos, beats, everything. And then y'all go follow me on everything at Becca Baby Music. So if you type that into pretty much anything, you'll find me. Becca Baby Music, and then my last album was called Late Night.
All right, all right, all right. It's so good to get to know you again. You are a friend of the show.
I'm so glad to be, and hopefully I'll be back in the future to talk about another project.
All right, all right. For CJRU, I'm Donovan LaCroixy. I want to thank you. Can throw out your name from Detroit. I want to thank.
Becca Baby.
Good morning.